and welcome to the C-Team. I'm Mike Curley.
And this is Frank Curley.
And we are once again jumping on the bandwagon with Nando v. Movies. This time it's for one musical scene, which is a scene where the music was particularly impactful and helped with the narrative. And today we're going a little old school, doing something a little different from most of the rest of the playlist. And we're going to talk about Sephiroth.
From Final Fantasy VII.
And not that song, the other one. So, Sephiroth, it's been 25 years, and he's got a bit of a reputation between the spin-offs, the prequels, the sequels, and the guest appearances, to the point where even if you've never played the game, you know who Sephiroth is.
You've seen at least one cosplay. Whether you were at the con or watching a video, you've seen him.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen Sephiroth, you've seen somebody inspired by Sephiroth. The original long-haired, white-haired pretty boy. And by now, he's developed something of an identity along all of the different appearances. He's a pure evil, out-and-out villain who exists only to torment Cloud. But it wasn't always like that. His original appearance was a little different. And we're going to talk about the scene where he kind of becomes the villain that we all know.
First, recap. You play as mercenary and eco-terrorist Cloud working against the evil Shinra Electric Power Company to try and save the environment.
Which is, a little topical, 25 years on.
Just a tad.
And that's kind of where the game starts. And Sephiroth is mentioned a couple times. Cloud has a flashback, but he's in whispers, and that's it. He's officially, dead and not seen on screen, but he's referred to as the great war hero Sephiroth. And then in the course of the game, after you invade the Shinra Tower, you get captured, and then you wake up, and the scene is a bloodbath. Everybody in the building appears to be dead, and there is just a streak of blood leading you to your destination, which is the Shinra president, who is impaled on his desk on a sword that is gigantic and has now become iconic.
So Sephiroth is at least partly introduced, but Cloud, declares him as the real threat to the planet. And then after they escape Midgard, the first city, we get to Calm, and then we get his proper introduction.
So Cloud gathers the party together in a hotel room to tell what he remembers of the last time he saw Sephiroth 5 years ago when they were both in Soldier, which is the super soldier program. When Cloud starts telling the story, Sephiroth seems to be kind of normal. He's making small talk with Cloud. He's not noticeably megalomaniacal or genocidal yet. And he even, talks about his mom. His mom was named Genova. And when he finds out they're going to Cloud's hometown, he says, hey, look, while we're here, take some time off. Go see your mom. Very considerate of him. Yeah, he's got almost not quite buddy-buddy, but he seems like a normal guy. And you also see that he is, monstrously powerful.
A lot of players probably remember, the fight with that dragon, and there's a good chance Cloud gets nailed by him, and he is just out.
Cloud is like a level 1 grunt, about 100 hit points, can't scratch the dragon, whereas Sephiroth can't be scratched by the dragon, and just beats the snot out of it. It's like Cloud is like a beat cop squaring up to fight right next to Superman. And this is an indication of how Cloud sees Sephiroth as this terrifyingly, monstrously powerful soldier. As the flashback goes on, Sephiroth sees some things that make him begin to suspect that the evil corporation he works for might not be on the level. And he finds the secret library in the basement, and he starts reading, which leads us to the scene in question.
Leading reads to bad things, kids.
The normal background music of this area is the same as in Nibelheim, which is kind of dour, but it's, background music.
Calm, dour, kind of downtrodden a little bit.
Yeah, it's a small town, middle of the mountains, middle of nowhere, and it's named after a Norse realm that is not itself very pleasant. But anyway, Cloud wakes up in the Shinra mansion, and the normal background music is gone. It's replaced by this slow rhythm that's like a heartbeat, with the occasional bell tolling, but nothing else. And this tells us that something is wrong here. There's tension in the air as Cloud moves through the mansion, And as he descends the long, long, long trip into the depths of the library where he finds Sephiroth.
Hitchcock would argue that for suspense you need some information, right? So we know that Sephiroth is going to do something. You know, he is a dangerous man, apparently still alive in the current. So when that music comes on, it's telling that something's, you know, we know something's about to, you know, go down. We just don't know what.
Yeah, we know Sephiroth, that Cloud considers Sephiroth the threat to the planet, but we don't know why yet. And Cloud gets to the basement and he finds out Sephiroth has been reading, and he is apparently not enjoying what he has read. And he learns that he was himself an experiment, that when he was a fetus, they infused him with the cells of Genova, which he has learned was an ancient Cetra, sort of an ancient people that have superpowers that were supposed to inherit the planet. And Sephiroth has kind of gone a little off the deep end here, where he blames all of humanity for the genocide of the Cetra. And then he stalks past Cloud, and the music grows quiet until he says the line, "Out of my way, I'm going to see my mother." The song starts up, "Those Chosen by the Planet," not "One Winged Angel," that comes later. And this song, the way it pops in on that line is ominous, it is threatening, and it signals that Sephiroth, the war hero, the guy who told Cloud, yeah, go see your mom while you're here, he's gone.
And then the town is in flames.
Yeah, Sephiroth has slaughtered everything, and you get that iconic shot of him walking away in the flames. And that is what makes Sephiroth the badass villain that we all know.
And at the end of the flashback, it shows a duel about to happen.
Yeah, we don't get the full story here. And we don't get the full story till much later, and that's a whole other thing. But for the purposes of the establishment, that music sets the character. And, you know, kind of looking into how this works. This was 1997. There was some voice acting in games, but it was like not a regular thing, let alone good voice acting. We're talking about Jill Sandwich levels here.
Right. This isn't that long after Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And Duke Nukem was like one of the only real iconic voice acted characters at around this time, which says a lot, I think.
And plus, you could see the models, they look like Legos, and they're not really capable of things like emoting or facial expressions. So the emotion of a scene kind of rests entirely on the music. All of the tone of voice you can hear in the music accompanying that first drop of the proper melody, if you can call it that. It sets how Sephiroth is saying this, the emotion or lack thereof, but you know he is angry. And that opening drum beat, it's like a heartbeat. It shows Cloud's unease. He's tense. He can probably hear his heart in his ears as he makes his way down to the last place he saw Sephiroth, and he could just feel the tension in the air as he makes his way toward, as far as he's concerned, the most powerful person on the planet. And he knows that if Sephiroth is in a bad mood, that's going to be bad for everybody.
And then when that music kicks on, basically the tension breaks like a dam and just everything is out of control.
Yeah. Cloud he knows he is powerless to stop Sephiroth. That's the purpose of the dragon fight, to show the gulf in their power levels. This is the moment that Cloud knows that Sephiroth is a threat to the planet and he is terrified. And that is who Sephiroth is. Before the cameos, before the guest spots, before the secret bosses and the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, he is a cold, terrifying symbol of inevitable destruction. And his theme, and the way it's used here, encapsulates that perfectly. Thank you guys for watching. Check out the rest of the playlist. We'll link it below. And if you like what you hear, like and subscribe.
Okay, and this is Frank Curley.
And this is Mike Curley.
See you next time.